Well, good morning from sunny California, because it's a blistering hot day out there, so I'm not going to be too long, guys. But this morning, this is my RedCat Everest 10 top 5 likes and dislikes. This is one superb little crawler. Ignore it at your peril. I'll take the camera off the tripod and show you why I like it so much. Well, the first thing I absolutely love, rather than like, about the Everest 10 is its superb ground clearance. Now, I always test the suspension. I recommend you do the same. Lift the front wheel until the rear wheel comes off the ground, and to see just how much travel you've got on the suspension there. So we're lifting up, 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 up. Rear wheel still showing no signs of lifting. And we're just coming off the ground there. To give you some ideas, guys, that's a full sort of Coke can size of Canada Dry there, and still got a little bit of clearance above there. So simply massive ground clearance. That's the first thing I love about the Everest 10. It is simply superb at this price point, because this thing is pretty darn cheap. I'll put a link to one under the video if I can find one. Although I have to say, for the best price is to go to your local hobby store, because I got mine for an absolute bargain at F&M Hobby in New Jersey. Now the second thing is a kind of dislike, but it is something that's fairly easy to change, which is the electrics, because neither the receiver, the ESC, or I believe the servo isn't waterproof. I'll have to double check. I would recommend you double check the servo, because that may be waterproof, but certainly the receiver and the ESC don't appear to be waterproof, so you would need to replace those if you're going through any major water, which I quite often go through water, crossing streams, brooks, things like that when I'm out crawling. If you guys do the same, or considering buying a crawler and doing the same, then you want waterproof electrics. But this price point is such that changing those, you're going to have money left in the bank for changing those, so that's not too big an issue. So while it's a dislike, it's not too big an issue, as the stock electrics do the thing pretty well. They give a very good level of control in the dry. Well, the third thing I like about the RedCat Everest 10 has been staring you in the face throughout this video. It's the tyres, or more to the point, the tyres and their beadlock wheel rims. That's right, full beadlocks all round, front and rear, so these babies aren't going anywhere when you're out crawling. Pretty much, again, outstanding at this price point. In fact, you could pay just as much for 4 decent tyres and 4 beadlock rims as this thing costs from the start. So that is the third thing I like about the Everest 10. And the fourth thing I like on the RedCat Everest 10 is the steering. Just one servo, Richie? Pay close attention, guys. You can fit a second servo on the rear, so you can make this baby 4-wheel steer. You can't do that with all crawlers, so that's a good thing to look out for. And particularly, again, that's good at this price point, to my mind. I have done a couple of 4-wheel steer conversions, and that is to be recommended. Certainly a plus point. The fifth thing I like about the Everest 10, just taking a look in here, all the full-length setup front and rear is all metal. You actually don't find that with all the axials. Quite a few of the axials, things like my Axial SMT10, is plastic on there, although I've replaced them with aluminium ones. This is all metal from the outset. And speaking of that, and I sort of refer to sort of transmission and suspension in one and the same sentence on here. Gearing on it is pretty good for crawling. Very, very easy to work on. You've got plastic drive shafts, but then so was my Traxxas TRX4. So as what he said for getting the RedCat Everest 10. So there we have my RedCat Everest 10 top 5 likes and dislikes. The only thing I really kind of dislike about it is that the electrics aren't waterproof, or at least even like a waterproof receiver box would go a long way towards helping things out. But as I say, it's quite cheap to buy, so therefore you can spend the money putting your own waterproof electrics on there. It's also totally ready to run. Dollar for dollar, probably one of the best rock crawlers out there. My local hobby shop, F&M Hobbies, back in New Jersey, used to get these in, and they would virtually sell one. As soon as it hit the shelf, someone would come in and buy it like 2 hours later. It's also very good indeed on the mods market. In terms of, go on Facebook, look on the groups there, and there's a whole host of mods that you can do to the RedCat Everest 10. Anyway, I hope you find that top 5 of likes and dislikes of the RedCat Everest 10 useful. If you did, and you want to see more great RC cars this summer, then don't forget to subscribe. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the circle image to subscribe. And if you hit subscribe, then don't forget to hit that little notifications bell next to it.